Hi, I'm Greg Rush with Corvette, and today we're looking at a 1966 Corvette. I have to apologize. We've had this on our website for a few weeks with pictures of the undercarriage that were not correct. We had pictures of a non-body off Vet, and we don't know how they got mixed up, but this one is body off, and with this video you'll be able to see all the detail of what's required to get a top flight on a Corvette today. This one has had a recent top flight in the springtime, and it was in Sevierville, Tennessee, and we do have the documentation and certificate. Just start over here, of course, all new dust plates, calipers, shocks painted correctly, every nut and bolt has been put back correctly. Moving over to the rear end with the stamping, it is correct to the Corvette, and it's a 370, and we checked that by marking a tire. Right here is my little X. You rotate the tire and count how many times the drive shaft turns. And in this particular situation, it is correct, meaning that the gears inside the correct housing match up to a 370. Some of the little things that they do is from the factory, you can see the little paint marks. There's paint marks on it, that's correct. Of course, that was put back on after the body, the double striping on the drive shaft, and the overspray to the bell housing. And also, if you go on the top side of the engine, you will see overspray on the intake manifold. That is what they used to do, is actually on a big block they put a box, a cardboard box over the top of the engine and spray. It seems kind of strange, but the overspray is correct. You can see the markings here, the yellow marking. There should be, yes it is, there's a green up here for the steering box shaft, and there should be some markings on the front up here for the how many shims that are required for the front end alignment. And of course there should be some markings over here. I'm with Jason Perkle. He's watching me go through this car, and it's enjoying the conversation. And I think the pictures just tell so much, and you can see this particular Vet, it was interesting. I know the person who did the restoration. He did the restoration over a period of 3 years, including rebuilding the engine, and went through the brakes and all, and he took it to NCRS and had it judged 3 years ago, and it got a second flight. Well, he didn't build this car to be a high point car. He built it to advertise his business of restoration. People that want just their car completely gone through, he does that for a living. And this was his showpiece. If he went for just NCRS points, he would have not used base clear coat. He would have used lacquer. There is a heavy point deduction for not using the original paint, but as most of us know, all cars made today are base clear, and it is a gorgeous paint. The characteristic of base clear is it stays good all the time, where lacquer dulls out and then you have to go through and rebuff it to bring it up to its luster, and it's just the different characteristics of the paint. So anyway, but then when he decided to go back and see if he could pick up points, he corrected a few things from his original judging and received an NCRS Top Flight. Now, things that I look for way beyond the restoration is, does it have original seams in the fiberglass? Yes. And that tells me that The Corvette has not been popped. I don't see any issues at any time in the past where the body, the frame was damaged and repaired. So you're buying a Corvette, or considering a Corvette, that is in beautiful condition. And this, Chris tells me that this has probably less than a couple hundred miles. I don't even think that it even has more than 50 miles since it's been restored. So you can see he used brand new trailing arms, and it's got, they used powder coating. That is not correct. If you want the correct finish, you have to go back over with the frame paint, and there was a deduction on that because they're too nice. So anyway, you can say there's many things that are too nice and you lose points by doing that, but that's the way NCRS is, and I don't disagree with them. The whole purpose of an NCRS is the car exactly like it came from the showroom, and if it's not, we're going to deduct points for what is not exactly. But some of the things that you can do today, technology-wise, like the paint, is better than it was back in 1966 when this Corvette was built. With that, I thank you. I hope you give this Corvette serious consideration. I loved it. I bought it right off the dance floor as it was being judged, even before the certificate was issued, even before I knew what it would score. I just love the car. I think it's a beautiful car, and I sold it to a friend, and he drove it all of about 20 miles, and he said, "Greg, I got to tell you, it is not my brand new Mercedes convertible. I like my Mercedes convertible, and I just don't see driving this like I wanted to. Would you sell it for me?" So here it is. Thank you for looking at the video.